Basically, in a nutshell, what Amber was saying with the 2 different birthdays was a lie. Yeah. The stuff that they signed it with, they signed with the correct birthday, and they were not actually found by their birthday, but by their name and address. So kind of like if either of the men had showed up, as long as they were eligible for jury duty, it was fine. Not only that, but she knew this the entire time. She knew this the entire time. And Judge Penny is not having any little bit of it. Amber lied. No way. Exactly, Savage Karma, right? We're all shocked? We are all shocked? Or probably not even a little bit. Good morning, Figure Drawing. Good morning, Elon. Apparently, we have an Amber Heard fan in the chat. I have a feeling it's probably a troll because they keep dropping some B emojis, but that's okay. Do you guys see the Doja Cat? I'm not sure if you know who Doja Cat even is, but it's a rap artist. Actually came out and said some stuff about her dog stepped on a bee, and like Eve Barlow was so mad. Doesn't make sense to me. Good morning, Random Dude Draws. I got your email with all of the pictures. I just haven't had a chance to go through it yet. Good morning, Sultan. Good morning, Planetary Federation of Units. That's a hell of a name. No, I'm just kidding. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, the Canadian guy. Okay. We know where you're from. A magical place that doesn't really exist. Yeah, did you know that if you die in Canada, you do die in real life? It's pretty amazing. I did not know that. Isn't Doja Cat a form of cat scat? No! I mean, I don't know. It's a rap person, a rap artist. I'm not so sure I know I know a couple songs. I think they do that song like She's My Best Friend or something. But other than that, I'd have to look them up to be for sure. Good morning, James. So we're gonna take a look at this documentary, and I don't know. What do we want to bet? Who's going to take? I'm sorry. Doja Cat is as much a rapper as Dr. Pepper is as much of a doctor. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that was pretty fucking good. I haven't seen this. I don't know. I can assume that it is probably very heavy in Amber's favor. Good morning, Jim Harrison. Because it's mainstream media. A lot of what we see is coming out that way. And I looked at a couple of the comments, and the first one was about Johnny Depp being the victim in this situation, and there was a bunch of people arguing. So I don't know who this was made for or why it was made, but I am very curious as to what it is entailing. Good morning, 303. Good morning, Eddie Gator. Good morning, Reese. Good morning, Hooded Justice. I had to sound that out like I was in kindergarten all over again, but it worked and we got through it, Eddie. Don't you worry. Speaking of Eddie, you guys should totally watch Stranger Things. Just putting that out there. Good morning, Asaya. Good morning, Raymond. I already said good morning to Canada guy. All right, we're gonna take a look at this. I don't think it's. I think I can say it's probably going to be, relatively dickish. And honestly, I am one of those channels that annoys people by pausing it and sometimes yelling, sometimes cursing. Just putting that out there. Be warned, I will be pausing this thing. It's got an actual warning right on the front. Good morning, West Coast Mesh Fighter. Let me know, do you guys prefer the chat on the screen in this sort of fashion you see right now? Good morning, Otis. Or do you prefer seeing it in this sort of fashion? What do you like put a 1 for like this and a 2 for like this. That way I can get the most amount and decide. Hey, they're off topic a little bit, but here's a great bundle to share. Ooh, Humble Bumble is great. Humble Bumble is awesome. I love. Is this that's computer games though. I mean, I know a lot of people like that. 9 freaking games for $25. 2 games for $1. Let's see what we got here. 1 was without 2. We got more 2s. Okay, good morning, Warm Lily. We're going to keep it just like we have it. And like I said, prepare the background of 2 rocks. I changed my background. Normally I have it more pinky, but I try to keep it the pink and blue colors for comic book stuff. So I'm like, I need something different. Humble Bumble. Whatever, Humble Bundle. Yeah. I try to keep it different for Johnny Depp stuff and different for comic book stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I got to do something a little different. And I love green. Green's a good color. Green is my second favorite color next to pink. All right, let's check this out here. I already got it on 1.25 speed because I can't stand the slow. Warning.
Our coverage begins in Fairfax County, Virginia.
Around the world, the divorce of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard getting uglier as we
trial with actor Johnny Depp suing his ex-wife, actress Amber Heard again.
I struggle to think of a case like this where you had both sides really using the courtroom to fight the public opinion war.
I think a lot of people want to dismiss this case and say that this is 2 celebrities and who cares.
I would actually disagree. See, we're already off to a bad start. I apologize. I don't see a whole lot of people dismissing this. There is a couple people that are like, celebrities suck, who cares? There is a very few, but you don't run into that on a normal basis. I think a lot of people look at the bigger picture when it came to this case.
Always get the nuances of it because they're seeing the headlines.
You had Johnny Depp, and all of his fans came out of the woodwork. They were on TikTok. They were on the comment threads.
People believed him. They didn't believe her. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. But that's how the social media frenzy works.
We are now in a world where social media is used as a weapon.
When people act like social media is completely irrelevant to the real world, that's plainly incorrect. And there is no denying the impact that social media posts and viral content can have on our real world.
Oh, of course. Nobody's debating that. But social media is also a very good way to get your voice out there and heard. It's also a very good way to give your opinion. And I don't see an issue with it. I think they're going to go heavy on TikTok. Already what we're seeing is a lot of TikTok. So I'm curious. There was a lot. And I mean a lot on TikTok. But a lot of it centered, like, you have really kind of what I noticed 3 factions. You have the TikTok people. You have a bunch of Johnny Depp YouTubers that also cover other topics, but a lot of what they cover is Johnny Depp also. That's where I kind of fit in. I have a TikTok, but yeah, I don't ever get any views over there. But then there's also the Twitter world where you have people like Laura B. I do know she has a YouTube now. And people like Incredibly Average that do a really good job of getting new information and stuff out there. So there is 3 factions, but they all kind of intercede at one point or another.
In 2012, Johnny Depp was arguably one of the biggest stars in the world.
Good morning, Bianca.
He had been sort of a teen heartthrob in the 80s, 21 Jump Street, and his star really built around these interesting characters that he portrayed on film.
He was mainly known as being Tim Burton's muse.
But then Captain Jack Sparrow with Disney shot him into huge stardom. Amber Heard is 20 years younger and was building a career and name recognition within Hollywood, but she was certainly nowhere near the star that Johnny Depp was.
Amber Heard and Johnny Depp met like most celebrity couples do. They met while making a project. They made this movie called The Rum Diary.
Meeting an actress like Amber Heard, she's of another era, you know.
I noticed that everybody...
Has anybody seen The Rum Diary? I'm not, like, I have no interest. My favorite Johnny Depp movie is by far Edward Scissorhands. I love Secret Window also. But Edward Scissorhands holds this, like, special place in my heart from my childhood. I haven't even seen The Rum Diary. I don't really even know what it's about, to be honest with you. I know it's about someone's life, but I can't remember who. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a good movie. Maybe I'm wrong.
But he smiled when he walked on set, and I thought, that's a good sign.
Actually, it wasn't until 2011, 2 years later, that they took the relationship to the press lapped it up because people love good-looking Hollywood duos together, and these two fit the bill.
I did notice something on your hand. Oh, the other one. Is that an engagement ring?
In 2015, they got married, and they had a big, luxurious
That's
wedding
sad.
on one of Johnny Depp's private islands. Yeah, it was mostly good. I'm trying to think. Until it got
Good
bad.
morning, Jay.
Only a year later did Amber Heard file for divorce.
The actor's estranged wife saying she's a victim of domestic abuse. She's seen leaving court with visible bruises, asking a judge for a restraining order.
She went to the courthouse with a bruise on her face.
Johnny Depp's team said that she was just trying to expedite the process by filing this domestic restraining order, and that it actually had no.
Notice he said, yes. Good morning, West Coast. Mesh Fighter. Notice he said 2011. The years get earlier and earlier. There was this weird discrepancy. Even throughout the trial. Was it 2011? Was it 2012? And then they got papers. It was 2011. And then it was 2012. And yeah, it's something else when you can't even remember the supposed abuse.
No merit. It was pretty remarkable the speed at which they actually reached a divorce settlement, and it was for $7 million for Amber Heard.
She had pledged all of that money to two charities.
Okay, I gotta say this. I'm not an Amber Heard fan, obviously. Obviously.
And it was for
But dress is
$7 million
cute.
for.
I don't know if it's the dress or the high heels, but the girl in me really wants to sport that shit. That's awesome. I'm sure she didn't dress herself. Oh, you know what? She dressed herself, but she didn't. I don't know. I love it.
Heard.
She had pledged all of that money to two charities, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and the ACLU Youth. And they had a joint statement released at the time that neither party in the case was lying for financial gain.
Tonight, fallen Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein expected to face charges.
Morning,
A year
Black
after
Phoenix.
their divorce settlement was reached, became the Me Too movement.
Women will be silenced no more.
We saw a lot of people who had been living with the secrets and the shame for a very long time, feeling power in numbers.
Amber Heard penned an op-ed for the Washington Post in which she talked about being a survivor of domestic violence. She never actually.
Alleged pledge. Exactly. Good morning. Seymour Butts. Oh my God. I instantly think of The Simpsons. The thing is I don't want one thing when I've covered this trial for quite a while. I always wanted to get across the message that I don't think women should be silent about their abuse. I don't think that real victims should ever be trivialized. And that's why I took a lot of exception with what Amber did. That's why I took a lot of exception as to how she went about this kind of clout and victimhood narrative that she really spun hard for years. Real victims should never feel small. Real victims should, you really don't, I don't even like calling them victims because they're not, they're survivors, right? Real survivors should never be made to feel small. The difference is when people weaponize their victim status or sexuality or gender in order to get financial gain, which we know she did, or to get jobs or to get ahead in life. That's where my big issue is. But I always wanted to make sure I came across that I wasn't trivializing abuse. She was the one glorifying it.
Actually named her ex-husband Johnny Depp in the op-ed.
The phrase that she used was, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, but the timeline insinuates who she's discussing.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone knew.
Johnny Depp filed for defamation in Fairfax County, Virginia.
He argues because of the allegations, his career has suffered.
He sued her for $50 million, and she said, fine, I'll sue you for $100 million. Amber Heard's counterclaim is that he defamed her through his attorney, Adam Waldman, who accused her of creating an abuse hoax.
Now, the trial kicks off at 10 a.m.
The problem with Adam Waldman when the 1 out of 3 statement that she won was it was so convoluted. There were so many pieces in that you actually couldn't rule in any other favor than hers. That the statement was defamatory, that it was a hoax, that she spilled wine to call the police to make a police report, where she actually didn't make a police report that time. So the statement was inherently off in sections, and that's where she got away with it at, because she didn't file a police report. That little section, just by fact alone, you had to side with her. The rest of it, I can see his point.
This morning here at the Fairfax County Courthouse.
And the great news is that we're going to watch it all unfold in real time.
So who were you here to support?
Johnny Depp. I've been coming since it started. This is for all my Johnny Depp fans out there. I say hi to him before he pulled in for court.
100 people were allowed in each day, and they were given wristbands to be able to come in.
And they
So
were
much
fighting
support.
the
That's
battle
so
in the court
cool.
of public opinion just as much as they were fighting inside the courtroom.
And I love that Darth News was there every day from the beginning. Like, before it even caught on and people were showing up to that degree, he was there. It's so fucking cool.
The Depp Heard case was a civil defamation suit. Civil suit meaning it's for money.
They're both public.
Fantasy I Die, good morning. John Malkovich should play Amber Heard in the trial movie. No wig, no makeup. He can just channel her inner mean streak. Oh my God, that's such a great idea. I think it's a great idea. I think we should all make a petition for that to happen. Absolutely. Good morning in Fantasy I Die. Good morning, Nick. Thank you so much.
Figures, there's a higher standard of defamation at play. It's about whether you maliciously went after this person with a reckless disregard of the truth.
Truth is an absolute defense to a defamation claim. The question was Ms. Heard telling the truth when she generally claimed to be a victim of abuse?
That's so cool.
Having the cameras in the courtroom sensationalizes everything. It becomes a soap opera of sorts.
Because there were cameras, people could edit videos online into TikToks, into rapid fire Twitter videos, and watch it almost like a gladiator ceremony. It reminded me of the OJ case, in which you had all the world essentially watching what was an extremely disturbing trial. And this was an extremely disturbing trial.
This was a
I don't think you can compare a fake victim to multiple. I mean, you can compare the crowd and the people watching, but there were 2 people murdered in that case. There were 2 people murdered in that case. I actually don't remember. I don't know what year it happened, but it had to have been when I was very young, because I remember hearing about it, but I don't actually have memories of the event happening or the trial happening. Breezing, thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. And are you? As are you. I totally said that wrong. Thank you very, very much. But yeah, different trials for sure. Absolutely, totally different trials. Defamation is just a little. It's just a little different than murder. Just saying. 1994. Okay. So I was young. That's probably exactly why I don't remember. But I think it's fair to compare the interest. I don't think it's fair to compare the trials. Nick, thank you so much. We love you, Johnny. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Defamation case. And before you knew it, we had all of these elements of domestic violence introduced.
Do you remember the first time that he physically hit you?
Yes. She was asking him about a tattoo he had altered because it initially said Winona Forever. Winona Ryder was famously one of his ex-girlfriends.
Bitch. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not fucking joking about abuse, okay? I'm not. But the way she fucking goes on to say, "Churchill is so bad. You like that bitch? Slap." No. Come on now.
Said it says wine. I just laughed because I thought he was joking. And slapped me across the face.
But the cameras in the courtroom, I believe, also had
come
an
on, they
effect
didn't give
on
me
the
my favorite
testimonies
line.
themselves, because these are two actors at the end of the day, right?
He said, "You think it's so funny? You think it's funny, bitch?
That's what it is. You think it's a funny bitch? You a funny bitch? What the fuck?
Think you're a funny bitch?" He slapped me again.
And the entire argument, Depp's legal team was
fucking ridiculous. You have to be able to laugh, because if not, you get too emotionally invested. And Lord have mercy, that was a terrible line.
them saying that she is going to be giving the biggest performance of her life during her testimony.
I just stared at him because no one else to do.
You a
And he
funny
slaps me
bitch?
one more time. Hard.
If Ms. Heard could prove that any single event occurred and constituted abuse, then in theory, she should successfully defeat the defamation claim. Now, she took a bit of the kitchen sink approach and put on evidence of various incidents of alleged abuse.
After you said, "Let's drown her before we burn her," Mr. Depp, you said, "I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she's dead." Did I read that right?
Dumb. Like, I'm not laughing at it, okay? I may come off as a little heartless, but those were, they were dumb shit to say. Like shit you never expected to be put out in a public trial. Yes, Johnny, you shouldn't have said that dumb shit to your friends. Yes, we know that. But did he actually plan on burning her? Fuck no, that's so stupid to even think.
You certainly did, yes.
A large part of Amber Heard's case and defense has been communications from Johnny Depp about Amber Heard.
Hopefully, that cunt's rotting corpse is decomposing in the fucking trunk of a Honda Civic.
He says that it was an appeal to dark humor in a dark time.
He did his best to explain his personality and to try to get sympathy from the jury and from the public at large.
Johnny Depp took to the stand and talked about his childhood, and he talked about the abuse that he suffered at the hands of his mother.
She was quite violent, and she was quite cruel.
He would later go on to testify, saying that my father stayed with my mother, and I wanted to do the same.
I think that's a good question. Step Hunator. How are the mainstream media people so freaking clueless? Because they have their own biases and we don't know where those lie. Also, even if they're trying to be objective in this, it comes off very woman heavy, because we are in a day and age where you kind of have to be in the media, and a lot of them are just out of touch with reality, just out of touch with a normal person's life, a normal goings on of someone's life.
You start to slowly realize that you are in a relationship with your mother.
The entire reason he's taking his ex-wife to court is to clear his name.
Today is actually the first opportunity that I've been able to speak about this in full for the first time.
He said, "I've never had the opportunity to address this." Yes, he did in the UK.
Right, but the UK was not televised. It was not. I hate this. I'm sorry. I hate this. Do they not realize that the UK trial was not against Amber? She was a key witness. There's no debating that whatsoever. But it was actually against the Sun. And I hate that they not hate that they bring it up, but it's disingenuous at best. Because it was not against Amber, it was against a tabloid company who were taking Amber's side, so they thought what they were printing was the truth, regardless of what the actual truth was in the situation. Not against Amber, it was against the Sun. You disingenuous hacks. It's weird. Savage Karma put, "Shut up, Elaine." We're 9 minutes into this, so about a third of the way through. We have not seen from anybody on Johnny's team, right? We've seen Elaine pop up with a couple statements here and there. Did they reach out to Ben? Did they reach out to Camille? Did they reach out to anybody on the team? Or did they just reach out to Elaine? I'm curious if we actually get a little cameo from somebody on his team.
The UK trial was a little different than this trial because Johnny Depp was not suing his ex-wife. Johnny Depp was suing a tabloid newspaper for calling
I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon!
him a quote-unquote wife beater in an article. So Johnny Depp's team had to prove that he was not a wife beater, and he lost the UK trial for defamation.
The judge found that Mr. Depp had committed at least 12 acts of domestic violence, including sexual violence. We were deprived of ever bringing in the fact that there was a judgment against Mr. Depp. Evidence that came in the UK but did not come in the US was a lot of consistent text messages and emails. There's a text message from Stephen Duders, his assistant, to Amber, in which he says, "Johnny's awake now. He doesn't remember anything. When I told him he kicked you, he cried." There was emails and text messages through.
Because that's literally hearsay. That's literally hearsay. I feel like we all got a law, like the basics on law, like 101 when we watch this trial. But that's because it's a third party. Objection hearsay, that's right.
Throughout, including to her doctor, including to the nurses. Those were all kept out.
The evidence came in that should come in, and the judge was very fair to both sides.
Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, in this case, were parties. They had different disclosure obligations.
Depp's team wanted to demonize Amber every way they can, and at the same time try to suppress any of the evidence of Mr. Depp's domestic violence. There were
I will agree with you, Joseph, if, and that's a big if, Joseph said it looks like it's trying to be neutral, right? If we get interviews sprinkled throughout, like we do with Elaine, if you're going to try to truly be neutral, you have to show both sides of the situation. And as of right now, they're not doing that. They're not doing that at all. Good morning, Orphe. Good morning, Melissa.
therapy notes that go back to 2011 when Amber Heard was first dating Mr. Depp. Detailed notes 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. To see that contemporaneous reporting all those years would have been very, very powerful, in my view, to a jury. But
again, those notes, which I think this is the first time we've seen them. I don't think we saw them in that ABC. Was it ABC that she had the interview shortly thereafter? They said, we have a binder full of notes going back to 2011, and then never showed any of them. I think those are the first excerpts we've actually seen. And again, the reason they weren't included is very obviously because it's hearsay. It's Amber telling, you can tell your doctor anything. You can. It's a dick move. You're supposed to be honest with your doctor. That's what they're there for. But you could go to a doctor and be like, you know, I have pain in my left eye all the time and have never had a pain in your left eye ever. People do it on a normal basis.
none of that came in because the judge determined that those were out of court statements.
Any good trial attorney, and I think both sides did this, they're going to develop a theme. From Mr. Depp's perspective, their theme throughout was that I'm the abuser.
Never did I myself reach the point of striking Ms. Heard in any way, nor have I ever struck any woman.
If anything, I'm the one who was abused.
And he goes, why are you accusing me of domestic violence when I should be the one accusing you? Mm-hmm. Yep, the plot thickens. The plot thickens.
A man has, he has to live within a system and a society that does not believe that he can be a victim. Men do not traditionally come forward.
Ms. Heard, in her frustration and in her rage.
And it's really nice to hear that some men have felt that courage. When I had Liana Kersner on, shortly thereafter the trial, she said her friend had actually come forward after this because he felt he was able to now. That's what this has done for a lot of men, and that's great.
Her anger, she would strike out.
Of all the domestic violence victims, you know, it's 85% women and 15% men. I do believe strongly that men are underreported.
And then they basically spent the remainder of the trial just trying to...
But to be fair, women are too. There are a lot of battered wives syndromes, right? Or battered wives in general. But I would say men are much more underreported than women.
Poke as many holes in as many of Ms. Heard's stories as they possibly could.
She said that she was going to give all of her divorce proceedings to charity.
You have not donated $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity, right?
I have not been able to fulfill those obligations yet.
I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
Another audio clip, she appeared to be mocking him over his claims of being abused by her.
And see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim of people's domestic violence, and yes. I know it's a fair fight. And see how many people believe.
I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I know I've said this before, so you might be hearing it again, but that's my favorite line from this whole trial from Johnny, where he says, and I said, yes, I am a victim of domestic violence. I said, yes, I am. I think that very little line is so powerful to men in this situation or in any sort of similar situation. Yes, it's okay. You may have some assholes that will ridicule you. I apologize. But the majority of people want to support you. So just say, yes, you are. And I thought that was so powerful.
It was really hard as a viewer who advocates for victims of domestic violence to learn that Heard had used that social bias, that misconception, in a manipulative way.
With all due respect, I wasn't saying it because he's a man. I was
Can
saying
we
it because
talk
he was a
about
man who
Muffin?
beat me up for 5 years.
Only if we're allowed to
Mr.
talk
Depp is
about
your victim,
Shannon.
isn't he? No, ma'am.
Depp's legal team brought forth their former couples counselor.
There was violence from Mr. Depp toward Amber, correct?
Yes, you're right. With Ms. Heard, he was triggered and they engaged in what I saw as mutual abuse.
I will tell you, in all my years, I've never heard the term, ever. When we're talking about domestic violence, we're talking about a primary aggressor. In the context of retaliatory abuse, sometimes it's you beginning that exchange. But until you're in a situation in which someone is hurting you, you don't understand the dynamics that are at play there.
He was the love of my life, but he was also this other thing. And
there's always going to be somebody that aggresses the situation. I don't like the term mutual abuse because that makes it seem like defending yourself is somehow inherently bad. And if you are the victim in this situation of somebody that is naturally aggressive, you have every right, in my book, to defend yourself. You have every right, equal rights, equal fights. You have every right to defend yourself. So mutual abuse, I don't buy it. I'm sorry, I don't. It's called a perpetrator and somebody defending themselves. There is always somebody more aggressive in a situation. Mutual abuse is kind of a bullshit excuse, in my opinion.
that other thing was awful.
Members of the public look at recordings as being a little bit underhanded.
A little bit? A little bit?
The overarching question of which party had the jurors' trust.
Amber Heard has submitted quite a few photos into evidence of her injured.
With respect to photos of Ms. Heard, I think that the jury most likely found the testimony of the gentleman from TMZ to be very compelling.
Ms. Heard was filing a restraining order at a courthouse in downtown Los Angeles. So I dispatched camera people to that location. We would only ever send people there if we had been tipped off.
And
Morgan Tremaine did such a good job. I actually follow him on TikTok now, and he's gained a lot of notoriety just talking about what he went through, what it was like to have that back and forth with Elaine, what it was like to meet Camille. And I think it's pretty amazing. Like, this guy that just wanted to help the truth get out there, and that's exactly what he did, has gotten a little bit of clout from it, and deservingly so.
The TMZ former employee effectively said that that was staged. When jurors see that, they're going to lose a lot of faith in anything else that's presented visually or otherwise.
I did not call TMZ or any other news source or paparazzi source. No one.
Unfortunately for Ms. Heard's camp, some of the more graphic, significant events were the ones that I think were most hotly contested.
The night in Australia, there's still so many questions about this fight, which, allegedly led to Johnny Depp's fingertip being severed. He alleges that she threw 2 vodka bottles at him.
It made contact and shattered everywhere. And then I looked down and realized that the tip of my finger had been severed.
Amber Heard.
Oh, Random Dude Draws. I didn't know he had a YouTube channel as well. I have to check it out. I had no idea. Another thing that was very weird for me when they're talking about the Australia incident, and I remember going through, because for the trial in the UK, basically what had to happen was I had to wait for Nick Wallace. He did a lot of live tweeting, and I was able to follow that. It was luckily 5 hours behind, so if I was waking up at 8 a.m., it was 1 o'clock there. They were getting ready to go back for lunch, so that helped. But I had to go through the transcripts at the end of the day in order, because I made a video at the end of each day, kind of summed it up, went through, the most important parts, went through what mattered. But it felt like, if I remember correctly, they spent like 3 days specifically on the incident in Australia. And it felt like it was really brushed over in this situation. Like she had realized what she did wrong over there with the son and was like, I'm going to scale this back a little bit. I'm going to learn from my mistakes, and I'm going to bring up the disco bloodbath instead, or focus on something else instead, or focus on my childhood. She knew that was a losing battle. She knew how it looked. And instead she brings an actual doctor that never actually saw Johnny before to talk about it. What a mess.
It is said on the stand she doesn't have a clear recollection of how things unfolded, but she has alleged that he sexually assaulted her with a bottle.
I felt this pressure. On my pubic bone.
And that was a new thing. That was a new thing too, right? That was never... Okay, there was one section in the Bahamas that nobody was allowed in. It wasn't in the transcripts. But this was brand new. If this was... Why would it have not been brought up before? She literally announced that she was going to say this a week before the trial. We didn't know what she was going to say. But there was some new sort of allegation. Brand new. Just in time. If something feels like it's way too convenient, it's probably because it's a lie. Her hiccups are on the court record.
I just saw his arm. I could feel his arm moving.
There were a couple of points in the trial that should have never come out so publicly.
I didn't know if the bottle that he had inside
that I can
broken.
agree with.
I didn't know if he would know if it was broken or not, and I just remember thinking, please, God, please, I hope it's not broken.
Survivors have reached out. They have been triggered. I know that myself, I got triggered.
My back was torn. She hit me in the face.
Ew, this is so cringe. Guilty.
I remember seeing that
whether male or
one.
female jurors,
I remember seeing that. Ew, this is so cringe one. The bottle incident was a scam with the bottle photo and crap. So phony and planned and fake. Yeah, I would. Yeah. Why is this the first time it's being brought up? I get sometimes people grieve differently with trauma and learn to accept them in their own time. But why was it not brought up before? Why did she hold on to it until a week before the second trial of this situation and then release it to the public and not have it just released during the trial more naturally? I don't know. There's a lot of really weird questions in this that doesn't add up at all.
they don't want to see a woman cry. They don't find it believable.
Here she is being forced to recount all these things, and they say, oh, she cried. What's wrong with these people?
Would you please stand and face the jury? Even though past contentious court cases have been televised, there hasn't been TikTok and there wasn't Twitter to cover these trials in real time. That really changed the course of this trial.
The jurors were not sequestered. The judge would instruct them each night not to do any additional research.
This is a long proceeding spanning 2 months. I just think...
Here we go. Elaine's going to start blaming the jurors in this situation for going on social media. Here we go.
I think it's unrealistic to think that the jurors stayed off of social media.
And once you're on them, you can't avoid it.
This monster of algorithms at play where even if you've never followed Amber Heard or Johnny Depp, you were inundated on your social media feeds with aspects of this trial.
And so the way that people got so much of the action from the courtroom was through these videos on social media platforms.
TikTok just went crazy. The ability to do short films mocking someone or giving your opinion about something is what TikTok is, and they certainly did.
Leaned back and headbutted me square in the nose.
The breadth and depth of what we've seen, and particularly the attacks and abuse aimed at Ms. Heard, is something remarkable. Can you imagine being a survivor and seeing the mockery that she's endured?
If you actually watch it live on YouTube, there's a live feed, and every comment I saw while I was watching it for 6 weeks were pro-Depp.
If you want to go viral, you're going to want to talk about the events in.
That says a lot, though. We knew he won the court of public opinion long before this even started, but that also says a lot as to how believable she was from an outsider's perspective. This is assuming everyone in the court and their family had a Twitter or TikTok account. And no, what is it, like 20% of Americans have Twitter? I don't know about TikTok. I don't know those statistics on that. I think it's an even lower percent because whenever I talk about it, like to anybody I have on stream, they're like, I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that. I'm like, God, am I the only one? Me and Savage Karma. That's it. But I get it. The trial, even if you weren't following the trial, it very much so did follow you. Like whether it was breaking news or, you know, those little edits or little clips. But that doesn't mean they were like, fuck the court. I am going to check this out. That doesn't mean they didn't go on. They could have went on YouTube. Sure, yeah. Maybe they just wanted to listen to music. Maybe they just wanted to catch up on their news. Maybe they just wanted to watch a review of a movie that's coming out. Just because they went on some sort of social media doesn't mean that they've seen a bunch of the stuff coming out. Come on now. Let's be real here. I'm not saying they didn't see anything, but I am saying that they could have avoided it.
Favor of Johnny Depp.
I really think it has a lot to do with Johnny Depp wanting the cameras to be in the room in the first place. I think he was aware of the public's perception.
Wait. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Johnny was against the cameras. From my recollection, when those were announced, and I'm pretty sure I made a video when those were announced that it was because I thought it was just going to be court TV initially. I thought he was against it. Fuck, I can't remember.
Perception of him.
Johnny Depp was a star. He was a lot of people's first crush. And so there is a parasocial attachment that adds another layer of investment.
No, he was the one who wanted cameras. Okay, I apologize. Johnny wanted the cameras on the trial. Amber didn't. Okay. My apologies. I couldn't remember. I thought it was him that didn't want it. I know if one wants it, I think it's pretty much granted. And I do think he wanted it because he wanted to tell a story. And that was the perfect way to tell a story, right?
93% of the accounts posting have been in favor of Johnny Depp.
I did not expect for my TikToks to get over 6 million views. It's been great to see that so many people are on his side and so many people.
Oh, I watched her. Is this the girl that went up? I think, let me look. I'm pretty sure she is the girl that actually went up. Remember when there was when Eve Barlow was still in the courtroom and she was caught passing notes and she was caught by people watching the stream? I'm pretty sure she's the one who went up and actually told them. She's cute. She's adorable. She's got her name here, Gia Andrani. I'm pretty sure I still follow her.
To get over 6 million views. It's been great to see that so many people are on his side and so many people agree with me and think that, you know, she is a liar. And a bad actress.
You also had segments of YouTube that had never covered anything even close to this trial. All of a sudden pivoting, people going from fewer than 100,000 subscribers to over 500,000 subscribers in a matter of weeks.
I really don't know anything about this. In any really big case, you'll see a lot of fascinating kind of banding together of people. There are people who love Johnny Depp and genuinely adore him and think that he is a great man and are very worried about him.
You also have men's rights factions of the internet contributing to this conversation, along with people who love true crime.
You have domestic abuse survivors who don't feel like Amber Heard was a reflection of them.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on Amber Heard?
I myself am a survivor of domestic abuse, and I felt like I could see right through when she was on the stand and the things she would say, that manipulation that they do.
I'd like to remind us all that all victims are not the same.
I want to highlight this comment because I think it's a really smart. Reese said here, he got, where is it? I'm trying to find it. He got dragged into public. He deserved to be able to defend himself into public. He got dogged in public. Yes. She's the one that dragged it into the public sphere. She wrote the op-ed. And when she's mad about this being a public fiasco, he had every right to want to get his story out there because she brought it to the public to begin with. She absolutely did.
Miss Heard is what we would call the imperfect victim. As a society, we have a stereotype of what a victim of domestic violence looks like.
You weren't scared of him at all, were you?
Why is Amber the imperfect victim, but they're not even considering the idea that Johnny was actually the victim in this situation? Why is it this whole big thing that Amber, oh, she's not the perfect victim, so people didn't like her? Maybe they just saw through her bullshit and her inconsistencies and her lies and her newfound evidence and her, binder full of notes.
This is a man who tried to kill me. Of course it's scary.
They usually have the battered bruises.
There aren't any medical records reflecting that you sought medical treatment for any of these injuries, are there?
I did not seek medical treatment.
I mean, come on. Everybody else has to see the guy from Austin Powers, right? Dr. Doom. Is that what his name was? No. The guy that puts his pinky up. You know what I'm talking about? She just the same outfit.
And after Australia, no.
Not for the rape?
No, I did not want to tell anyone.
It is a certain amount of crying, but
Dr.
not too
Evil,
much.
thank you.
Anger, but not too much.
Victims and survivors of domestic violence each are different, and they have different experiences.
I said Dr.
There is
Doom.
no perfect
What
victim.
the fuck? Dr. Doom. I just lost some nerd cred. I apologize.
If you didn't take pictures, it didn't happen. If you did take pictures, they're fake. If you didn't tell your friends, you're lying. And if you did tell your friends, they're part of the hoax.
The litigants each really tapped in pretty explicitly to the larger social media and the cultural narratives that have been surrounding the case.
No woman ever before Amber Heard ever claimed that Mr. Depp raised a hand to her. This is Me Too without any Me Too.
The verdict is in. They're going to read it at 3 o'clock.
All right.
Robert brought up a good point here. How can they explain the bottle being shoved up her hoo-ha? Remember, she actually said she could feel the shape of the bottle. I hate to break it to you, boys. That's not how it works. You can't tell shapes by your hoo-ha. And yet she didn't bleed out. She magically healed. Yeah, that's exactly right. She magically healed, apparently. Apparently, that's a thing. Along with the shapes thing.
We have a verdict?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Jurors deliberated 13 hours. Verdict delayed. He won. Okay.
That was not my reaction.
That's going to be an interesting fallout for a lot of domestic abuse survivors.
Why? Why? Because you automatically believe her? The thing is the people giving her the benefit of the doubt are simply because she came out first with the allegations. Had he been honest from the get-go and transparent, this would be a different situation. And not only that, it's because she's the woman in this situation. Do you realize how fucked up that is?
I think from Mr. Depp's perspective, his legal team put on an incredible case and pulled a rabbit out of a hat. It's apparent from the jury's verdict they didn't believe anything she said.
The jury awarded Johnny Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive. So, but then they also awarded $2 million to Amber Heard in compensatory damages. So then, if the counterclaim says that she never committed an abuse hoax, then I don't understand how you could have both things be true.
Because that's not what was said. Adam Waldman said a bunch of different things and leaked information. Because of doing so, because of him representing Johnny, that was the issue. Because you can't prove someone's intent to make a hoax. Because in that statement, he said, and filed a police report. That was factually incorrect. Therefore, it's false, and she wins that by default.
I have been glued to the TV for the last 6 weeks, so it will be nice to get my life back, but I am probably even happier just knowing that justice was served.
Absolutely.
What was his reaction in the moment?
I think just an overwhelming sense of relief.
Social media certainly took off in a way that we've seen high-profile trials before, but do you believe the jurors saw any of that, were swayed by any of that?
No, I don't think there's any reason to believe that the jurors violated their oath, and that suggestion was disappointing to hear.
I don't know how they can possibly come to that conclusion. You could not escape it.
Do you see any large...
Because you're straight up being disrespectful to the court's time, the resources put into this trial, by brushing it all off as, they saw it on social media. They let social media make up their mind. Fucking idiot, Elaine.
Your message beyond the case you tried?
No, I mean, frankly, we don't. We're here to talk about the case that we tried, right? We encourage all victims to come forward, have their day in court, which is exactly what happened in this case.
When we heard a verdict, we were very disappointed. We have struggled for years to ensure.
Why? You should be disappointed that a woman weaponized Me Too instead of actually using it for what it was meant for. It became not only a way for women to get a weird clout, but it became a political tool on both sides. So why were you disappointed? Why would you not want the truth to be out there instead of just going, I was disappointed the woman didn't win. I was disappointed that, the woman in this situation was the liar. You should be disappointed that somebody weaponized it. You should be disappointed that she lied. You should be happy for a victim to get his life back and his story out there.
Or that survivors' voices are heard. It turned out that the jury believed that, it was defamation, which is, by the way, a control tactic by a lot of abusive persons.
Oh my God. She's serious? It's a control tactic? It's a control tactic? There is ways that's why the anti-slap stuff was brought about, right? So you couldn't have your voices controlled. So you could express your First Amendment right. This had nothing to do with freedom of speech. This had to do with somebody using that and lying in a defamatory way and losing and costing livelihoods and jobs upon jobs and income. I don't understand it. Good morning, NWO. Good morning, J.
In order to maintain control. Defamation cases will be exerted more often. It won't be pretty.
There will be plenty of plaintiffs who will file and pursue claims that may not be winning claims, but they'll take that chance.
So if we imagine a college student who is a victim of sexual assault, who wants...
Like the mattress girl? Just want to bring that up. Like the mattress girl? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. You don't want to bring her up? Okay.
wants to tell her story. The worry is that we might need to start counseling victims that telling their stories can have a very significant financial price.
What happens if I get ambered? Because we're getting to hear those terms, or we heard the term that Friday, I will Depp you.
We are already seeing other celebrities who are accused of sexual violence filing defamation suits against their accusers.
They're using Manson. Oh boy. Okay, I want to drop a link here for you guys in case you're unfamiliar with the Manson case. This is a great breakdown from Colonel Kurtz. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Colonel Kurtz, who does an amazing job. Don't go now. I'm just put it in your watch later, okay? I was very reserved, much more reserved about the Manson stuff. But it's very similar to the not similar in nature, but the reason why I was reserved. Because of the fact that it is I was judging him by the way he looked, by that kind of stuff, and I didn't realize it.
The Me Too movement at its core was about victims coming forward and telling their stories.
We're women and we're proud. We won't be shut down.
I do wonder whether there will be that power in numbers again, whether people will be willing to go forward knowing they could get sued for defamation.
I strain to recall a case like this where you had a celebrity who had fallen from grace use a public proceeding in a court trial to rehabilitate that image. And that's what he did, and winning was a welcomed byproduct.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was the whole point of this situation, to be able to tell your story. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, no matter your gender. The problem is, a lot of what we see from this other lady that was just talking, that said it was disappointed, or the Anita Sarkeesian type, is that they don't want it for both genders. They don't want the truth for both genders. And it's kind of sexist and shitty all at the same time.
I think looking back, people are going to think of this as the TikTok trial, the social media trial, the fan trial, because his fans really came out in such full force and really having fun with what were some pretty horrific claims.
This trial really demonstrates the power of the internet and how campaigns for public opinion can shape real-world effects. So whether you're in politics, media, entertainment, this presents itself as a playbook.
You know, I saw, oh, is Me Too over? And you darn tootin' it's not. How do we deal with something like what just...
The funny thing is, she mentions a playbook. There's actually a playbook that me, SEC, and Dr. Soup are supposed to go over it sometime. We just haven't got a chance to. It's literally a playbook of how to ruin a man. How to ruin a man. Okay. What? I'm speechless, because why? What kind of a vindictive person are you?
Just happened. She wrote an op-ed about her domestic violence. The op-ed and the social media were weaponized against her. So what does that mean to someone else who may want to talk about this? It's going to be tough. We can do it. I never say no.
Goodness. So, how do we feel about, was that objective?
Thanks for watching our...
Shut up, dude. Was that actually objective? Now, I said in the beginning, oh, did I read your super chat? Oh my goodness, I didn't see it. Let me find it. I'm sorry. Oh, I was too into yelling at my screen. I apologize. JSS Tiger, good morning. Control tactic. My Amber should control her mouth on those damning tapes. Yeah. Yeah, she did this to herself. It's not a control tactic. It absolutely, I just, wow. Was there another one, Robert? Did I miss another one? I'm looking, I'm so sorry. If I ever miss a super chat, just remind me. I was just really into that and didn't see it. I don't see anymore. I was yelling at the screen the whole time, right? Thank you, JSS Tiger. No. Okay. I was just making sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. So, was this objective, in your opinion? Did they give fair analysis on both sides? I said right in the beginning, I could look at this as more objective. If Elaine wasn't their main person being interviewed, did they reach out to Johnny's team and they said no? It's possible. Not probable, but it's possible. No, not a chance in hell that this was at all objective. I don't understand why you can create something within the media and create it and have it be objective on both sides. I think I've been a little bit more fair and reasonable at times when it comes to being objective in the truth, and a lot of people haven't liked that. I had a lawyer on, I would say the weekend after, and he was giving his kind of definition of the law. A lot of people didn't like it because the law sided with Amber. I think what it's a real problem when YouTubers or people that have blogs or people that are not in the media are able to be way more objective than your mainstream media. I know most of what we see right now from the media is very much so distrusted. Like, I don't know anybody. I can honestly say I don't know a single person that trusts the mainstream media. Like, even if I really try hard to think about it, when I was a kid, I remember my grandparents are extremely, extremely conservative. Like, Trump, DeSantis for life bullshit that I can't stand, right? When I was younger, I remember them being able to flip through different news networks and be able to put on stuff like CNN as conservative people because it was objective. At least at the time I thought so. Now it's like gone completely off the rails. Like, so much so we're not even seeing places like Fox cover the January 6th stuff because it doesn't appeal to their base. What is can you name, honestly, in the chat, is there one news station you can trust? Is there one blog, or not blog, I guess wouldn't be the best words, website that you can trust? I cannot think of one. That's really sad. That's really, really sad. And I don't know why at this point we don't have any. Like, I know there are some, like, I like Breaking Points. They seem to do a good job because they have two different sides of the aisle on it. But even then, you can see the different sides of, biases. I don't know. I trust the Bugle Daily. That's about it. Especially because they hate the spider menace. Nope, there isn't any. It's why my dad tells me to watch multiple news stations, but you shouldn't have to, right? You shouldn't have to. As somebody wanting to get the truth in this situation, watch what we just did. Watch, maybe a video from Popcorn Planet and Tug, and then go on TikTok. You shouldn't have to. All of the big outlets seem to have their agenda now. So no, yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Goodness gracious, how ridiculous. I was hoping that would be more objective, but I think we all kind of knew, right? All right, we're going to take a look because we do have a little bit of time here. I was hoping we did. We've got the actual, let me bring it up here so I can show you guys. Video game related. I will check it out later. What video game? We've got the motion here from Fairfax. Not quite as interesting, but it's fun. I promise. We'll make it fun together. We're gonna hone in really on the Juror 15 stuff. So this is the paperwork where she got denied. I know. We all love it, right? Where's Juror 15? The court show. Okay, so page 26. We're going to go there. And then I'll zoom in a little bit. We'll get there, I promise. Because it's pretty funny to read, because it was like Judge Penny, I can't say her last name right every time, Ascarte, I hope I'm saying that correctly, was like, I'm done. I don't want any more of this. I've had enough. Why doesn't Amber Heard just claim bankruptcy? That's because as karate. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Savage Karma. Now I know as karate. Okay. Because this was done with malice, bankruptcy will not cover it. So she's fucked. She can't claim bankruptcy. She has to pay this. Judge Moranis. Yes, Judge Moranis. She has to, in this situation, pay it. Bankruptcy won't help her. She's going to have to. And I wonder if in the beginning, had she kept her mouth shut, had she been quiet, had she not went on different interviews, if he would have just been like, look, I got my point across, whatever. Now I'm like, take this bitch for all the money she has. Take it, even if you donate it or if you pocket it, I don't fucking care, but get your fucking money. All right, let's see. The court should not conduct an investigation of Juror 15 because defendant has waived such arguments and has had failed to provide any evidence of unfair prejudice or any due process violation. In short, Amber, honey, you are fucked. You are, I didn't zoom it in. I apologize. Is that easier to see? There we go. Amber, stop. It very much so seems like you knew this dumb birthday thing. And when she was actually called upon, we know it's a male. This Juror 15 is a male issue, right? It's a dude. Both the same last name, both the same address. And they were actually not called in through their birthday, to my understanding. But because they were both registered voters, it didn't really matter in that situation who showed up, right? Not the dude. I love this. Ms. Heard's desperate after the fact demand for an investigation of Juror 15. I love that. He's like, I'm fucking done with you. You're desperate. Stop this. Based on a report or purport. Oh my goodness. Dyslexia, calm down. Calm down. Error in the birth date is misplaced. As a threshold matter, Ms. Heard waived her right to challenge the accuracy of the information listed in the jury panel by failing to raise this objection contemporaneously. AKA, you should have done it before. Where are we going here? They're naming a bunch of things. The main purpose of the contemporaneous objection rule is to alert the trial judge to possible error so that the judge may consider the issue intelligently. Oh my God, I am so sorry. My dyslexia is kicking in badly, and take any corrective actions necessary to avoid unnecessary appeals. Further, VA code outlines the Juror for objecting irregularities in jury listed to the alleged legal disabilities of jurors that provided that unless objection to such irregularity or disability is made pursuant to subsection A herein, and unless it appears that the irregularity was intentional, or that the irregularity or disability be such as to probably cause injustice in a civil case to the party making the objection, then such irregularity or disability shall not be cause for summoning a new panel or jury, or for setting aside a verdict and granting a new trial. Basically, in legal terms, Amber, you're fucked. You are fucked. Because what you did was ridiculous. This whole thing, there is a great note here. A full week after the deadline. So on July 8th, a full week after the deadline to file post-trial motions, Ms. Heard filed a supplemental memorandum in support of Section 7 of Defendant Amber Heard's post-trial motions based on additional discovered fact, as addressed in Mr. Depp's concurrently filed motion to strike. I haven't seen the motion to strike. Ms. Heard's supplemental memorandum is untimely and should not be considered by the court. I love this language, how it's trying to say fuck you, Amber, in like a legal way. Like you it's desperate, it's untimely. And Mr. Depp maintains his contention that Ms. Heard has waived her argument with respect to Juror 15 and based her argument on pure speculation. Do you see what I mean? Pure speculation. And has provided no evidence that she was prejudiced in any way or that due process was somehow violated. Here's the thing, and this is what I said in my video about this. She's going to use that in order to say she didn't get a fair trial, and that the trial that happened within the UK is actually much, more to go off of. She's going to use this even though due process was served, even though there was no reason for it. She's going to use this to say that I did not get a fair trial, regardless of the outcome. And it is really ridiculous. Honestly, I don't understand where she can actually come up with that, but that's my guess as to what she's going to do. I wanted to show you guys this article. I don't think so. There is a lot of stuff when it comes to social media. Like, you can technically defame or call somebody a name without having to worry about it. Was it Section 230? I can't remember. Because it's kind of all under the guise. But the big deal in a lot of this trial was that her tweet, her retweet, and then she wrote a little thing up above it, remember? Was actually a bigger deal than what she thought. And it's a lot of the reason why she was here. I think it's in here, right here. Today, I published an op-ed in the Washington Post about women. This was her endorsing that trial, or that's today I spoke up against sexual violence, right? That title. I haven't been able to read all of this yet, but they're going on the motion that because of stuff like this, we should be worried about what we say online, because it could eventually end up getting us sued. Not taking into account that a lot of this is not just because of a tweet, right? No, we sit in a bed full of turds. Oh my God. It is because of what she wrote, what she said, the obvious timeline, the obvious references to Johnny, and then come to find out later down the road that the ACLU was actually helping her in this. I don't think there's anything to worry about, especially because a lot of what we see online is actually anonymous, right? Most of the people we interact with, we don't know what they look like, who they are, where they're from, their family. So giving your opinion in that sort of sense, I don't see how we could ever have to worry about something being, how do I say this? About being held liable for a tweet. I think this is a way to make it seem like her freedom of speech was taken from her when it absolutely was not. Amber Heard's guilty with malice, meaning she did it for revenge, and it cost them movie roles. Exactly. Really different than just coming forward with allegations. Amber Heard calculated the whole thing, down to a T. I actually released some audio the other day where she was talking about the plan. It's pretty fucking insane. I can hear cats in the background. Yes. They are trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. Absolutely. They need it. Let me show you guys. I got something. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I released it yesterday. But it is fucking great. Like, I'm not a huge Mickey Rourke fan. I don't know much about him. But I want to show you two separate interviews. This one, which is hilarious. And then one from Barnaby Joyce, where he talks about actually going forward with the investigation into Amber, into her lies and finding her lies. They deserve their 15 minutes. She charged over $32,000 per speech she gave. Are you kidding? Are you? Oh, wow. All right.
I know Johnny for many years, but I don't really know him intimately. All I could
This is on
say
Pierce
is
Morgan,
I was
by
in
the
a
way.
situation one time where I got blamed for something that I didn't do. It cost me movie jobs for several years, and it caused me a bad reputation. And finally, the truth came out. But the truth came out after
Michael Myers.
I lost movies and I lost jobs, and so I felt bad for somebody that is trying to get chopped down by some gold digger, you know?
You think that's what she was?
Absolutely.
I fucking love that.
Was.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's so good. I like, that was so perfect. Take some balls. I'm not gonna lie. Take some balls to actually. I don't know. Is Mickey Rourke still acting? Joseph, let's imagine why I did this. Thank you. Only possibly because the cats won't shut up, and you think they need fed when they're really just crying for attention. They smell a cat outside, I think, a female cat, and they're like, I don't want to get some booty. I like how my recommendations come up here. And then I want to show you this Barnaby Joyce one. I know I've released these. I know I have. I get it. But I think they're worth talking about.
Wow, this is the story that keeps on going for you.
Shut up. I think, going back to the Mickey Rourke one, I think I didn't know the same thing happened to him. He was in Iron Man 2. He does a lot. Okay, yeah, I forgot about Iron Man 2. Good point. Yeah, he does. I forgot all about that. Yeah, he was Whiplash. So I don't think it's going to affect him that he said that, but I respect it because I do think that a lot of people are afraid to give their opinion when honestly, I think if you've been through that same sort of thing, which apparently he has, it probably feels nice to see somebody else get vindication. Right? It probably really does. In fact, before they gave him the name Michael Myers, he was simply known as The Shape. I did not know that. Do you live near Church's Chicken? What? No! Freaking weirdo, Joseph. That's so funny. No, they see cats outside because there's like other strays around here. I have a thing for strays. And then they cry for him, right? This That's 100% fact. Yeah, it is. But calling someone a gold digger is a pretty big accusation. And to say it in public, you got to respect it, right? Like, you got to look at it and be like, yeah, he was maybe taking a little bit of a chance there. And good for him. Good for him. I wonder, I know Amber's watching this stuff. Like, not all of it, right? But like, I know she's been watching Tug's channel from what I've seen and some of the others. And I wonder if it's gotten to that point of obsession where she's watching stuff like Mickey Rourke call her a gold digger. Translation, I'm a crazy cat. Hey, these are all just facts. Just facts, putting it out there. I may be a crazy cat lady. No, I'm not really. Maybe a little bit. If she's watching, bye, Amber. No, I'm way too small of a channel. But I mean, like, some of the big names. She absolutely is. To the point where they dox Tug. And to my understanding, reported all of his stuff. And it's like, she said, very notably, she said that she wanted to move on with her life. She hasn't even tried. She hasn't stopped with the interviews. She hasn't stopped with the social media presence and looking around and bothering people. She hasn't stopped with the book that's supposedly coming out. But I don't see, like, I know this tell-all book is kind of rumored, but I don't see a publisher actually taking that chance, because then they would be liable for being sued. I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. Believe it or not, that's very interesting about this is that Amber could take this all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court because the First Amendment is at play. Imagine that. Well, she could try. Yeah. But I think the anti-slap laws would stop her from that, wouldn't they? I may have to look into it more. I don't think it would be very smart for her. She said she spent $6 million on this trial. Why would she want to? Why? I don't understand it. All right, let's look at this one. Barnaby Joyce talks about investigating Amber Heard, and he mentions Johnny too. I'm curious.
Wow, this is the story that keeps on going for you. We all remember that debacle.
Yeah, I know, and it sounds like those dogs, when they came in, there were a lot of documents that were signed that said there was no animals there, and now it looks like Ms. Heard has not been, alleged not been telling the truth, and that's perjury, and, if they want Julian Assange, we'll take Amber and possibly Johnny, and they can come over to Australia and spend some time at Her Majesty's convenience.
I love it. There was a video the other day, I'm not going to show that one, where they kind of reamed the court and they were like, no, the slap laws not have priority over the Constitution. Okay, gotcha. I wasn't sure when it came to that. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I just, we all gotta kind of jumpstart into lawyering 101 when we watch this trial. I don't know how he could bring Johnny into this because the emails were, I believe, from Stephen Duders, if I remember correctly, and Amber back and forth. I know it was Johnny's assistant. That's the only way I could think that he would bring it back. But there was a video the other day I released, and it was basically them kind of pissed that it's takes so long. They were honestly not happy about it. They were like, why did it take so long in this situation when it shouldn't, right? It shouldn't. It should be a slam dunk. We've got the documents. They're in the UK trial. We can get them. But they were like, we want a conviction. We want a conviction. And I thought it was very interesting that they used that because they're going for it. And I hope Amber's lost. So the compassionate person in me hopes they don't because she's lost everything. But it's also like, I don't believe in karma, but if I did, this would be a good instance of it. It's in print, it's liable. In spoken word, it's defamation, right? Regardless. Fuck Amber Heard. Yes, regardless, fuck Amber Heard. Hello, Saggy. Make sure you guys check out Saggy Melon. She's awesome. I missed your stream the other night about Review Tech USA, I think it was, and the quartering fighting or something. I missed it. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it because I was like, what are they fighting about now? Isn't this like a monthly thing? Don't they always fight? Like, I just don't care that much. Oh, I think Keffels was involved too. I think. I don't remember. I know I saw the thumbnail. I'm like, damn, that's a good thumbnail. That's a good thumbnail. Just showing here's a trailer reaction Bianca and I did. Oh, I forgot about the Monsters trailer. Go ahead and show all you want. You know I don't care. Keffels, to my understanding, lied and made a fake DM. That's all I know, and I'm like, that's shitty. You automatically get the L from me if you do it to that extent. It's sad. I don't know who Amber Heard is besides Johnny Depp's ex-wife. That is kind of sad. Most people, I think, know her mirror role if they know her. I remember her Never Back Down because I loved that movie. Other than that, yeah, she's just Johnny Depp's ex-wife. Because now we don't even know that she's going to be an Aquaman if they're going to cut those scenes, if they're going to use them at all. And if they do use them in Aquaman 2, it's going to be less than, 10 to 20 minutes. Pineapple Express. Yes, I forgot about that one. I actually didn't know that was her in Zombieland. She was like the cute girl in it or something. To me, she looks like a Hollywood starlet, like every other Hollywood starlet. There's nothing unique about her. There's nothing that is memorable about her. She's every other blonde bimboed starlet. She was in Magic Mike XXL too. You know what's funny about that? Is I got on TikTok. I didn't know she was in that movie. I've never seen the Magic Mike movies, but I got recommended something. And it was a scene from that movie. Hello, baby. What are you doing? And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? And I'm like, this has to be a movie, right? Like, they got me where I was like, this is her? What is wrong with her? Why is she a stripper? And I'm like, oh, this isn't like a real life video. They actually got me in that one. I was like, I gotta look this up. I had no idea. Can you not chew on my headphones? Pretty please. Go on my shirt. There. Okay. It's ironic because I remember her because of how bad her acting is. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I didn't even think she was that bad of an actress. She just wasn't memorable. And I thought her role in Aquaman wasn't bad. I didn't like the way the red hair looked on her. It looked very weird. It looked like, especially right. I don't know if it was a wig or if it was her hair, but it looked very unnatural. But I didn't think she was the worst in that. I thought she did okay. Other than that, I was just like, nothing to see here. Amber Heard will make a sex tape or OnlyFans. Yeah, I kind of wondered if she was going to go there too. Honestly, that would be like the girl boss thing to do. Say, fuck it, I'm going to pay him and go start an OnlyFans. You see people doing it and making so much money, insane amount of money. I think that would be the smart thing for her to do.
It really annoys me a bit when they say they wouldn't extradite them if they perjured themselves. Well, they put at risk our biosecurity. We've got a big issue right now with foot and mouth that comes into Australia. Beef industry decimated. So, when they say things like that, but we'd never do that for this. Well, what would you do it for? They broke the law.
Exactly, and people don't realise how big our agricultural industry is in this country, how important it is. That's why it was important in the first place. So what could happen here, do you think, Barnaby?
Well, it's up to the Americans. I suppose the US want to show their sort of the purity of it. They're insisting on
Don't they film, to my understanding, didn't they film part of Aquaman in Australia? So she was charged and not extradited, but then she wouldn't be able to actually go anywhere to film there. I'm pretty sure they do.
Doing a sign, so they should say, well, it's fair enough that any person who's perjured themselves, committed a crime in Australia, should go back to Australia to serve their time, because we've got to be fair dinkum and straight with both these things, don't we? I mean, let's see how that goes. As far as her calling her dog Barnaby Joyce, you can send it up here, we'll go pigging with it and see if we can knock over a few old balls or something like that. I don't know. But,
do you reckon it's a tough pigging dog, that one, Barnaby?
I hope they do.
No, I don't think. I think the pig's going to win. I think the pig's going to win. If the other pigging dogs don't kill it first. But anyway, well, I'll look after it. My namesake, Barnaby, will be safe with me.
Didn't she name her dog Barnaby also?
Just quickly, you weren't big fans of them at the time. Did you watch the court case? Have you been following all this sort of circus, Barnaby?
Who didn't? It was bigger than the election. It was great. It was compulsory train wreck viewing. Each night you thought, these are two crazy cats, and obviously don't mind having a drink at night, and they're just tearing the house to pieces, throwing crap at each other. It was bizarre that, but we watched them and they earned millions of dollars. But let's see what happens.
Yeah,
I don't know. They should have a sequel. Maybe if we get them back in court, we can have a sequel, because that will outrate its socks. We're all lost their jobs if that goes prime time.
Well, we'll get you enlisted.
I'm pretty sure she named her dog Barnaby Joyce too. I hope so here's the thing. I know her life's been pretty much ruined at her own making. I would feel bad if she was, you know what I mean? But there's only a level of compassion that I have for her, and it's a very small level, right? And I don't honestly see them. They've been saying this since I can remember. So my guess is, if it happens, if they actually do charge her, it's going to be some time. And it'll likely just be a slap on the wrist, like kind of, I'm showing the world that you can't do this, da-da-da-da-da. But I'm also like, this girl has gone through enough, but has she? Like, to be made an example of shows other women that this is not a path to walk along. And maybe her being made an example of will dissuade people from using something like the Me Too movement in order for their own gain. Maybe this will stop and make somebody think twice Hopefully it will. There are some dumb bitches out there. Like, there's dumb people in every group, but she is an abuser. What compassion? And I agree. It's very hard to have compassion for somebody that is the way, that is like Amber, that abused him, that mocked him and said they won't believe you because you're a man. It's very hard for me to have any sort of empathy for somebody that double and triples down on their lies. So much so, after she was proven a liar in a court of law, goes on and say, nobody else came out, would you? Would you? Would you? Look what happens. Stop it. Like, I can't say I have much compassion. I try to. I honestly do. But at what point am I supposed to have compassion for another human being when they're a garbage fucking human being? No one showed compassion for R. Kelly. He was found guilty. Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly. So I can't speak to that situation. I don't know what happened. I know R. Kelly, was it something with a minor? Well, I don't remember. I know it was recent. And it was really weird because shortly after the trial was done, you had people coming out really upset. Like Billie Eilish made a song about, it was not all about it, but about people caring more about this, and tried to say that people cared more about this than Roe v. Wade. That actually didn't happen. We didn't know for sure until after the trial. He peed on a girl. What? Shut up. Shut up. I think I did know that. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? What? R. Kelly pissed on a minor in the 90s and got away with it. R. Kelly married a 15-year-old girl and got, yeah, no compassion. R. Kelly was sex trafficking minors. And those people need to be Minecrafted. Minecrafted? Is that the way I'm supposed to say it online? Oh my God, he videotaped himself pissing on a minor. Got away with it. What the fuck? I think I do remember something about it, but I didn't follow the trial. I'm not a big R. Kelly fan. I actually thought like the way he acted always was gross to me. When he was on stage and stuff, he was always like grabbing his dick and humping things. I always thought it was really off-putting. Maps belong on the wall. That's the best way to put it. Yep. I have nothing to say. I hope he rots in jail. I hope he and what was it, Giselle Maxwell? I'm not sure exactly how to say her first name. Both of them just rot the fuck in jail. Rot. No. Yes. What's worse? Being Minecrafted or rotting in jail and living with that every time you close your fucking eyes you think about it. Wow. Let me get your thing up here, Robert. Did you hear some people are claiming the 10-year-old girl is a hoax? It's not a hoax. He's actually been caught. The predator has been caught. And how can you claim it's a hoax? That is ridiculous. Are you on drugs or just drunk? Neither. I get these comments every once in a while. I know my voice sounds a little funky. People don't like the way I talk, and that's fine. I'm probably not made for you. I get it, but I'm not on either. I don't drink. I smoke weed, but I'm not right now. And I never do when I'm on stream or doing a video. So I'm not sure where this comes from, besides the tone in my voice. I get it I used to get it a lot more. I haven't got it as much, but no. Just to clear that up, it is neither. I don't get it. He only got arrested recently because of recent accusations started coming out. And I'm like, bruh, he literally did this shit in the 90s and was still able to work in the industry. What? Ew. There is a need for more accountability for stuff like this. There is. Right? People got away with that shit all the time. Like, you can find some horror stories. I'm pretty sure it's either Steven Tyler or Joe Perry. Married like a 15-year-old so they could go on tour with them. There is really some creepy horror stories when it comes to old rockers or old industry people. There is a need for more accountability. Hopefully people see that. Yeah. You didn't tell me why they said it was a hoax, Robert. I'm so confused. I am so, unless I missed it. Wait, what? Elon, that's not how it works. You realize that, right? I think you're being, I think you're joking a little bit if I know your personality well enough. I think you're kidding. But that's a child. Oh, you're quoting Boondocks. Okay. I was like, what just happened? He married Aaliyah. Isn't Aaliyah dead? If I remember correctly. I think I really liked one of her songs as a kid, but now I'm pretty sure. He's quoting Boondocks. Yeah, that's what I thought. I kind of know Elon doesn't like jokes all the time, but not like that. You know what I mean? She is dead. I thought so. I remember liking one of her songs. I do. Did he marry her at least when she was of age? God, I hope so. But he married, oh my God, no! No. He married her when she was 15! How? How is that even possible? How? Who approved that? You know they had to get a marriage license, right? Like, and they were just like, it's cool. It's cool. This is the 90s. It's cool. Why would I want to check, out of curiosity? Why would I want to check that out? That's fucking gross. NWO, why? Okay, finally get our answer here. It obviously wasn't a hoax. I haven't, I'll have to watch Tim Pool's video. But apparently the Ohio Attorney General claimed that there was stuff in the laws that could allow it, but she was 3 days past cutoff. Exactly. They didn't allow her. They literally said, think of it as an opportunity. 3 fucking days. 3 fucking days. What's wrong with you? I don't know. Fucking ridiculous. But to claim it's a hoax, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should absolutely be ashamed of yourself. All right, guys, I am going to wrap up. Thanks for listening to me rant and rave about Amber and about all of the stuff I never heard the whisper about it, then backpedaled. Yeah, fuck the Ohio Attorney General. Fuck all of those people that are making these terrible laws. Like, they literally just made a law in Arizona that you can't film a cop within 8 feet. We are going to this dystopian future, and it is scary. Extremely scary. Gary, I'm so sorry. Last time you sent me a super chat on Sunday and it came through as I was ending. I apologize. Oh my god, I just found out there is a D&D character that dies from bats and comes back as a vampire and works for Vecna, and Eddie theory could be true. How fucking cool would that be? Eddie is the coolest characters. Eddie is awesome. That would be so cool. I think I'm gonna have my Stranger Things review up in the next day or two. But yes, thank you guys all for stopping by. Thank you, Gary, so much. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.